Good day, everybody. It's fueled up. I feel like I need some music here. Yeah, oofy, shrek, get some stuff here. So eventually, my next guest and I are going to be having a live musical entry in every show. So we'll be planning around that because I know you guys love that. I know I did too. Wow, I've got to stop this Oprah voice. That's what I call it, right? That singy, songy, loud thing. But whatever, it's my show. I get to do whatever I want to do. So welcome to Fueled Up, people, the show for people who are living kick-assy lives and generally just are having fun doing what they're doing, no matter what the obstacles, no matter what the stresses that they're dealing with. Each and every day, they are just getting it done and doing it. And that's my excitement because I get to introduce, see, this is also the great thing. I recognize and get to enjoy even more these friends that I have been accumulating throughout my life that are doing amazing things in their lives. And my next guest is a very long-term friend and has been just generally living a kick-assy life ever since I met her. And she's loads of fun. And I know you guys, if you've been at any sales event or any event that we've had that's of any significance in Prince George that has any type of a vendor market, you will see this lady there hawking these amazing bath and body products to you. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce the wonderful and always effervescent Amy Heise from Just Add Water Bath and Body Creations. Amy, big round of applause. I should have had the kazoos. My son just got a whole crappy, like 20 kazoos my sister gave him. I'm like, because he has more than one mouth, but now he can play it out of his nose too. So
why would you let her do that to you? Why?
Well, then she just took one and she's like, well, if one's good, let's give him this. So then he also had them all lined up. One day I felt like we were in Dr. Seuss or something. But
that sounds just like a nightmare.
Right, you know it. And then we had a 5.5 hour drive yesterday back from a virtual grad, and he played backup to every rockin' Kiss, and you wouldn't believe that Kiss and Guns N' Roses have some very kazoo worthy.
I would believe that,
right? Like yeah, it was awesome. So we got to crank the tunes louder, and he got to rock out with his kazoo. So yes.
Oh, that just sounds painful.
Amy, I'm so excited to have you. Thank you for agreeing to be on this show today.
Yeah. Anytime. I mean, sorry for my background. I'm in my workshop, so
that's
you get to see all the lovely. That's all. My huge.
I'm like a squirrel. Tell us, what do you do, Amy? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I own and I'm the artisan behind Just Add Water. So we make soap and bath products and scrubs and lotions and all that kind of stuff. I also have 4 boys. Between the ages of newly 4, he just turned 4 last week, all the way up to 13, which is a lot in this homeschooling COVID time. And then, I have a husband and he works full time. So it's a lot of balance, but we muck through.
Oh my gosh. So what do you got behind you? What were you just showing us?
So behind me is only part of my wall of fragrances. So all those bottles are different fragrances. And then I've also got all of these fragrances. So yeah, there's a lot of stock back behind me. Thousands of dollars of fragrances.
Oh my gosh, I don't have my glasses off. I thought those were bars of soap. They're not even soap yet, for heaven's sake.
Nope, they're not even soap yet. All my stock is upstairs in my shop. Since this whole COVID thing has happened, I had to kind of come up with some alternatives. So I have a little tiny shop upstairs, and I take all the finished product and I send it upstairs when it's all ready to go.
Oh my goodness gracious. Hang on, I'm going to yell at my kids here for a second. Hey guys, I'm live. Can you be quiet? Sorry, because I get to do that on my shows. Because that's what happens when you're a working parent. And I don't care if it's a fur baby or a real baby.
It's true.
kids, right?
Totally true. I just sent all mine upstairs and I just heard the oldest go, "You guys be quiet, mom's on a call."
I thought I warned mine, but I guess I wasn't clear enough. Sign or something. Have the dog with a sign around his neck going, he's the director.
I feel like he needs a production credit.
Oh, I think he needs it. And he's such a good boy. Anyways, okay, you and I, we can go for hours. That's what I love about Amy is Amy and I can laugh about anything, no matter what's going on. And that's what I love about you, Amy, as always.
Aww.
We just joked about it. We started throwing around the big L word with each other the other day. Like, oh my God, what are we doing? This is great.
It's only been 14 years, Zan. We've only known each other for 14 years.
That plateau, right? I mean, I pretty much, in pre-COVID, I'd pretty much just nuzzle up to where when we'd see each other, I think we could say the L word.
Yeah, only 14 years.
Right? I love it. Yeah, 14. Oh my gosh. Let's say 3, because that's starting to show our age again. I'm starting to count.
Yeah, no, I just met you last week.
Right? And just pretend we bumped into each other at a COVID-inspired event, a virtual sales event somewhere, right?
I just happened to find you online.
I love it. Okay, so we'll get this focus back on Amy because you know how much it's always about me. Sorry. Amy, I want to know, how did you become a soap goddess?
So, because I have many, many, many children.
Yes.
Some days too many. Gift giving got really expensive really quickly. So when my kids were in school, I was pregnant with number 3. So I had one in school and one in preschool, and it was getting to be Christmas time, and I was trying to think of something I could do because we were on a very tight budget. So, and I always like to give gifts to teachers and the preschool people and all the workers that help around Christmas time and at the end of the year. And so then I started making scrubs. And somebody was like, "Oh, your scrubs are so nice. You should start a business." And I was like, "Oh, maybe I should." And then I slowly branched out into bath bombs, and then it kind of just, and then it exploded. And now it's everything.
Right? So really, there was no big plan for you to take over the soap world and become this.
If you would have asked me, even when my first kid was born, if I would have had my own business, I would have said no. It wasn't a thing. It wasn't something I mean, my background is in marketing. I did go to school for business, but I was working in admin jobs and I was working in, I worked in office jobs for a while. And then once we had more than one kid, it just financially didn't make sense for me to work outside the home anymore. Unless I was making $30 or $40 an hour, I couldn't afford the daycare. So then this kind of morphed into something that I could do while my kids were sleeping or while they were at school during the day, and then markets on the weekends. So it kind of morphed into it just kept growing and growing and growing. And now, yeah. Now my kids are all home and I'm trying to do it too. They're old enough to help now.
That's right. They're great. I know. I've had them in my yard because Amy actually even forages and sources some of her own products. I'll let her talk about that later. But we've had her in our backyard picking dandelions. So it's a win-win situation for both of us. My husband gets so excited when he sees the Heise come in with their picking baskets. Yeah. That many left dandelions out there for us. Oh my God.
It was so funny. When we pulled into your driveway and the front lawn was mowed, my kids were like, "Yes, we don't have to pick dandelions." And then we pulled into a park and the whole backyard was still full.
I went running out there and I was like, "You have to stop. The production crew is coming. They need this."
They get ice cream. I paid them an ice cream.
They love it. And I promise this is not child slave labor. They love picking dandelions.
They do. And I mean, and like the older kids are like, "Oh, we don't want to do it." I do pay them for their time. I just, it's something that I think, can we just talk about that now, I guess? It's something that I think that like, it's important to teach the kids where if we can get supplies locally that are sustainable, then we should. And then it teaches them more about nature and to be more aware of their surroundings. Because we're not like a real hunty, fishy camping. Like we do camp, but we're not like a big wilderness family. So it's the little things that I could do to try to like instill that in the kids. And we're always very aware of what we're taking and like doing it responsibly and not picking everything and things like that. And this year we've had to teach some bearware stuff because this year has been very berry. So we had to teach some of that, which I mean is important as well, right? So if it's a family thing we could do together, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. And your poor hubby, he picks the most amount of dandelions as well and packs soap.
It's true, and he knows that the more he picks, the less he'll have to pick later.
We only have so many jars to put this stuff into, right?
I have this huge Costco box of dried dandelions, and I'm like, I need more. Well, because I have to pick them now to last the whole year, right? Like, I don't mind purchasing some stuff that I have to make herbal stuff it's harder to get, but like dandelions, why would I buy that?
And what do you do with it just for
Oh,
those?
so the dandelions I use several different ways. So one of the ways I use them is for a dandelion salve, which is basically just infused dandelion oil and another oil and some beeswax, and it's kind of like a catch-all salve I use burns, cuts, wounds, everything. I also infuse it in oil for soaps, and I've started to use it in lotions as well.
Oh, wow. Amazing.
Which is why I need all the dandelions.
All of them. I know. Oh my gosh. What else do you use?
We forage for plantain. Plantain is really easy to find. Plantain is that stuff that grows out of like cracks in the concrete with the big green leaves on it. And it's very like if you're ever out in the bush and you get hurt or you get cut or something, if you just take a piece of plantain, make sure it's plantain first, and like macerate it in your mouth, which sounds gross, but it needs the juices, and then put it on top, it'll help. So it's like a super old school, way back, way back. They've been using it for years and years and years. So we forage for that. We forage for rose hips.
Yeah.
And wild roses. And we forage for, what else have I got? Horsetail. My son was just asking me about that. I have horsetail from a couple years ago that's dried, so it's still fine. And he's like, doesn't it go rotten? No, it's fine. It's dried. And like clover, we forage for clover. Sometimes we forage for chamomile if we can find it, and arnica. So anything that we can find in abundance, we forage for. And most of those things, most of the ingredients that we forage for are used in salves, which is kind of like a natural medicine kind of thing without getting too medical, because of course with Health Canada you can't. So,
and tell us a little bit about your products, your Health Canada, like how your products are different than a lot of other products out there.
Okay, so when you make bath and body products, there's quite a backlog of paperwork. So the making of it is the easy part. Everything else is the hard part. So for every product you make, you have to file paperwork with Health Canada saying that you're selling that product. And you basically send them a list of ingredients, and they send you yep, that sounds good, or a no way Jose. And if they send you a no way Jose, you have to reformulate, because they're trying to make sure that you're using the right ingredients properly and not over usage rates. So you're not going to burn anybody's skin. There's a lady down in the States who, when COVID started, decided she's going to make her own hand sanitizer. So yeah, Health Canada did say that we were allowed to make our own hand sanitizer, but you had specific guidelines. And of course, this is in the States. They have a whole different set of guidelines. And she owned a gas station, decided she was going to make this hand sanitizer, and started selling it. And there was pictures of little kids with chemical burns from the tip of their fingers all the way down to their elbows because of the ingredients she put in the hand sanitizer. So Health Canada is there to kind of set the guidelines so that doesn't happen. So people are using things safely. A couple of years ago, I was at a market, and I'm not going to give any details besides that, but I was talking to the vendor, and she had a cream, and I said, what's in here? Because you have to legally list all ingredients. And she's like, oh, it's just a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Like, that could be anything. It could be toilet water and cat litter. Like, I don't know. So I just said thank you and kept walking, because that, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, no, that doesn't cut it for me.
Oh, gosh. And I think we as consumers just assume that everybody's doing that type of thing, but it isn't.
Yeah, and lots of people don't. So if you're ever at a market, and I'm not trying to knock anybody, if they want to make money and sell stuff, great, but just do it the right way. So if you're ever at a market and you pick something up and the ingredients are not listed, do not buy it, because they're clearly not following any sort of guidelines, and you have no idea what they put in that product. They could be putting stuff in that they found in their backyard. Like, they could be putting poisonous stuff. You have no idea at all, because they haven't sent the stuff to Health Canada. And clearly, even if you don't follow that backlog of sending it to Health Canada, which you really should, as long as the ingredients are listed, at least you know what's in it. But if they aren't listing any ingredients, walk away. I had another friend actually message me, and she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry." She said right off the get-go, "I'm sorry." And I'm like, "Why are you sorry?" And she's like, "I'll never cheat on you again." What are you talking about cheating on me? She bought a scrub from somewhere else, and she had a really bad reaction. And the thing about not listening to the ingredients, you have no idea what you just reacted to. So it's could be super dodgy. So just keep an eye out for that stuff.
And shameless promotion, if anybody wants to know, this is my favorite. This is like the pink lemonade sugar scrub. I wish you could smell. I wish we had smell-o-vision right now.
It does smell pretty yummy.
Anybody? Oh, I'm getting out of the scene.
Is that working more? Can people smell it now?
I know it is. I don't know if you remember a long time ago, SCTV, a long old Canadian.
I do. We weren't supposed to tell people how old we were, remember?
Right. I watched that on YouTube replays. How do you balance all of this? Like, what do you do for yourself, or how do you make all this work? I know we've got child labor. I know we've got the hubby and but how do you balance all this?
I have a really good support system. Like, my husband he helps a lot. He's like, honestly, he's kind of my like Guy Friday. He does all my dishes. Like, which you have no idea how many dishes go into making one loaf of soap. It's a lot of dishes. Yeah, so I try to work when the kids are asleep, which can sometimes mean I have real late nights. Now that my kids are older, and my oldest is 13, he actually helps a lot, and he'll watch the kids for me, so I can work during the day, which is a lot better. Because burning the candle at both ends gets to be a bit much. Yeah, I mean, I just have a really good support system. I have friends who will help if I need it. I have a friend who keeps telling me, "Just bring stuff over and I'll label it for you." I'm like, no, I got it. Don't worry about it. Yeah, that's kind of, I mean, it's a hard balance, and I'm trying. That's one of my goals, is to start setting more boundaries and try to shut off. Because right now, since there's no markets on the weekends, there's no reason for me to have to work on the weekends, really, except I'm making stuff, right? So unless I'm trying to not answer messages on certain days of the week. I'm trying to give myself Sunday and Monday off. It hasn't been working real well because it was just Father's Day. And now people are panicking because it's last week of school. So it hasn't been working super well, but I've been trying really hard on those 2 days to just shut off and not answer any work messages. So, yeah.
What have been the changes for you? I mean, obviously not as many markets, but how have you kind of been pivoting or shifting your business? Because I know you are busier in some ways in terms of sales and things.
Yeah. It's actually been really crazy. I thought that once March hit, and it was like, oh, we had to cancel a couple events late February and early March, and we weren't sure what it was going to look like. I thought I was dead in the water. Like, I thought, I don't know what's going to happen. All this momentum I've been building up is gone. What am I going to do? And so I just shifted to mostly online stuff. So I've shifted to posting on Facebook a lot more. And that's actually made a big difference. It's been a lot busier than it would have normally been these last few months, even with events being canceled. Looking forward, because they've already started to cancel events in the fall, 2 big craft fairs in Prince George, one in October and one in November, have already been canceled. So I honestly feel like it's only a matter of time till the other ones are canceled. I mean, obviously I'm not the be all and end all, but I was talking to another friend, and they were trying to run an event, and the amount of things they have to do for a volunteer driven event during COVID is ridiculous, and the personal liability they have to take on. So honestly, I don't think there'll be any craft fairs this fall. So to prepare for that this summer, I'm working on my website as well. Most people are on Facebook. People who aren't on Facebook have been emailing me, which works too. So I think once I get that website up and going, it'll be good, because I'm also doing free local delivery and half price shipping, which has made a big deal. Half price flat rate shipping. So it's only $7.50 to get a full box, and you can pack it as full as you want. So, and that's made a big difference, because I noticed that the amount that I've been shipping is a lot, enough that it makes it worth my while. And I mean, I have the odd person come over to smell some things, but because it's summertime, I've just been taking them outside and putting them on a table like a garage sale. I feel like a little kid with a lemonade stand. Like, come smell my soap. Come buy some soaps.
Awesome.
But I mean, so it's been a big pivot. But this is all stuff that I wanted to do anyways. This is all I wanted to start a website. I wanted to get to the like internet-based sales, and so it's just been that push that I needed, I guess. It's just finding the time to make the website.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. All the little business details, that go into creating and doing and building. And I think that's one of those big hard things for at-home entrepreneurs, is to try to add on one more thing to your plate.
Oh, totally. Yeah. And it's going to take, I mean, it's a big learning curve too, right? Because it's not like Facebook where if somebody messages me and says, okay, I want this soap, do you have any available? I go and I look, and if it's available, I say yes or no. With a website, I actually would have to input the inventory and it would count down for me. And then I'd have to try to balance the two, which is where honestly, I think I'm getting stuck. So I just need to work that out, which I will. It's just time. I think once this school, so I mean, I know we're only virtually schooling. I know your kids back in school, but mine are not. But this is the last week. So once that's over and the kids can have free time and I don't have to worry about scheduling Zooms, because some days my kids have like one day my kids between just two of them they had 4 Zooms, and so I know and like not short ones, like hour-long ones. So once all the Zooms are done and all that is done and then they have the time to just have free time, then I'll have more time to actually sit down and focus on things, because it's easier for them to just let them play than to have to stand over them and make sure they're doing all their homework.
What is a mindset shift that you've had to make for yourself, or that you would encourage other entrepreneurs to say, yeah, this is something you need to do to be able to kind of lean in or get engaged in what's going on?
I think for me, I was like a fair weather Facebook poster. Like I'd post once in a while and I'd be like, me, whatever, I'm having a sale, or this is what I'm selling this week or whatever. So I think trying to keep on top of that and scheduling posts and being more engaged on Facebook or just online period really has made a huge difference for me. And so I think that that's something that I'm going to have to like take more advantage of and do more often, because honestly, it was so sporadic before, and now I'm trying to make myself post every day. I know, right? And it's hard. It's hard to buckle down, and because some days I'm like, I'm done. It's nighttime. It's 9:30 or it's 10, and I'm getting the kids to bed, and I'm like, oh, I didn't post on Facebook. So trying to make myself do it or sit down and schedule them, which is so easy, but yet not something I'm not used to. I think that's what I need to do. And I think that everybody should lean into like online as much as they can right now, because realistically, who knows what's going to happen? Everything is so up in the air, full stop. This second wave of COVID could come, it could not come at all. Like we have no clue what's going on. Everything could resume tomorrow. Everything could not resume until next year. We have no clue. And then what does it look like when it does resume? You know, after being off for a whole year, if that's the case, it's going to be weird. It's going to be weird. So as long as I feel like as long as you have that audience built up online and you've taken the time to do it, then you're going to be fine no matter what happens. Right? It's just sitting down and doing it, because it's something that, I mean, I know lots of people are going to, I know you had Mandy on last week, and Mandy is fantastic at her online stuff. I'm just not used to it. It's not something that, because I'm so used to interacting with people at markets. So one thing that I really miss is seeing I call them my November friends, because from October the 15th to December, usually the 20th, I am booked every single weekend at a market. Well, it's the same people who shop at every market. So I see the same people. And so I've met people who I only see in November. I call them my November friends, but I see them every weekend in November. Sometimes I see them more often than I see my husband. And so it's those people I'm going to miss, you know, like it's the people that you just run into that I'm going to miss, but hopefully they'll come find me online. Who knows? Yeah, it's a whole different ball game out there right now. And the thing is, with all the what ifs, nobody knows. So, yeah.
All right. So as somebody who's doing this with you and struggling with the same thing, what I say is an at-home entrepreneur, we've got to start thinking on Sunday and do that that's my commitment. If anybody's wondering what to do about that, it's to set that schedule. And we've talked about it before, and
Yep.
we're going to meet this week at some point because we're going to get our schedule set. And I think that's another big thing for that Amy and I've been talking about, is the importance of having people to bounce ideas off with, to do the work together. And I'm going to be posting some more things in the Lifestyle Hacks with Zan Facebook group about entrepreneurship and about tools for balancing home and work, especially when home and work are in the same room.
Yeah, there's 8 people that live in our house, so it's a little squishy.
That's the other thing she left out. There's another another.
Oh yeah, my parents. Yeah. So it's a little squishy in our house, but I mean, I have this little workshop down here, which unfortunately is not actually enclosed because it's in the laundry room, so everybody has to pass by. I sent all my kids upstairs so you can see them walk behind me. But this is like everybody uses this space sort of. Like I have a corner etched out, but like if somebody comes downstairs to do laundry, they're talking to me, or the kids are running back and forth to their rooms. So I mean, it gets a bit distracting, but yeah, it's a lot. There's a lot of people in this house. I'm not gonna lie. It's nice to have a resource though. It's nice to bounce ideas off of other people who have small businesses. Cause like I've talked to you a lot. I talked to Mandy. I've got another friend, a couple of other friends actually, and we talk business quite a bit. And I think that that's important because honestly, my husband gets tired of listening. Like full stop. He doesn't care. I mean, he cares, but he's just like, seriously? I don't care if the market's canceled. This means I don't have to pack stuff up.
That's life when there's no markets.
Right? That's it. He's like, I actually get days off and we don't have to worry about it. Because even in the summer, like last summer, I think there was only 2 weekends the whole summer I didn't have something. And the farmer's market had approached me, and one of the farmer's markets had approached me and asked me to come vend. And that's every single Saturday. And I was like, I can't do it. My kids are too little still. I can't commit every single Saturday in a whole summer. And I mean, they are open now, the farmer's market. So I mean, I could go and vend there, but I still can't commit that time. So, and I mean, honestly, I don't know. Good for them for opening up. I don't know how many people are going because I know I am still sketchy about going out. So,
Yeah.
But good for them.
So where can we find you? I'm going to have all your links in all the base of it, and I think I linked most of them. But where can we find you, and what's kind of coming up in terms of the season for things that might be coming out of your beautiful creative hands and mine?
So the best place to find me right now is just on Facebook. So it's just add water PG, like on the Facebook link. So facebook.com/just add water PG. That's the easiest way to get a hold of me right now because my web page isn't quite live. I'm not gonna lie, I only did the title page. So I have to work on that. As for stuff that's going on right now, mostly if you need any last minute thank you gifts, we've got 2 thank you packages going on. So I've got one down here I could show. There's these watering cans. So they're mini watering cans and they're filled with 6 mini bath bombs and a bath poop and poof. And they're bath poop, don't do that. And they're these ones are $15, and then I have another set that I don't have down here, and it's a box that has a soap, 2 regular size bath bombs, and a lip balm for $20. And we are actually delivering to schools or daycares or wherever it needs to be delivered to. So if you'd rather have things delivered right to them, and they come with a little tag too. Actually, Crease from Quirky's Candies made these for me. These little cute "Thank you for helping me grow" tags. I know they're kind of hard to see, but so they come with little tags, and we'll deliver to wherever you need, free of charge. Other than that, we've just been working on restocks. So I mean, we've got new beer soaps that have fun descriptions and names. And then we've got restocks on scrubs and restocks on lotions. I'm going to be working on the body butters this week. I'm just waiting for ingredients. Oh, lip balms. We have here, I'll just grab them. We have like 7 new flavors or 6 new flavors of lip balms, and they're fun. So there's like grape, blue raspberry, root beer, or root beer I already have, caramel apple, red velvet cupcake, fruity pebbles. I know. And I just made jelly bean last night, and then we've got cotton candy coming too. So lip balms, I mean, the summertime I use a ton of lip balm. I might be the only one though, but yeah, lip balms are one of our top sellers. So we'll have all those new flavors coming out too. So lots of new products, and then I'll be working on more stuff all summer. Oh, and bubble bath. I figured out a bubble bath. I know. I figured out a bubble bath that isn't just all chemicals. I know. I'm very excited about that. So we're going to be launching the bubble bath as soon as my bottles come. But everything is taking very long because of Canada Post, and the processing times at the supply places are long. I put an order in on the 13th of June, which is just about 10 days ago, and it still hasn't even been processed. That's how far behind they are. So if you're looking for something specific, give me a little bit of time ahead of time. I can help you out. I love custom orders, but I need a lead time so I can make sure I have all the stuff.
Awesome. And I'm also going to be linking, just because Carisa's on here too. She also does. We'll make sure to drop Carisa's link for Corky's Candy on here as well, because she does amazing. You'll be a guest on here another day, Carisa. But oh my gosh, thank you so much, Amy. This was such an amazing interview.
Thanks for having me.
Any final words of inspiration and glitter you want to sprinkle out in the world?
Well, all I can say is things are weird right now. But they're weird for everybody. So keep that in mind and just keep trucking along. Just keep plugging in as long as you can. If you need help, if you need somebody to bounce ideas off, there's always a network. There's always me and Zan. You can always always talk to me and Zan. We love to bounce ideas off of people. And just keep trucking along and try to pivot. I hate the word pivot because it's so used. Like every time I think of it, it's that stupid Friends episode where he's like, pivot. But I mean, that's what everybody has to do right now. But just remember, it's weird for everybody. It's not just you. So I know things are going to feel awkward, but it's awkward for everybody. So you're not the only one.
I don't know. We need to think of another word for pivot, like bump and grind or something. We'll put that on our list.
I feel like you might attract the wrong people if you advertise about bumping and grinding.
You said things are weird now, and we need to get weird if we want to just joke. Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Don't worry, this will not be the last time you see Amy. She will be coming to us again down the road. And she's also a community manager in my Lifestyle Hacks with Zan group. So if you guys just even have any questions about soap or about entrepreneurship, or that's kind of, she's kind of my go-to gal there, or just about, some things that you can start looking at or doing. So we'll be working on that. So that's where we'd like you to come see us, is in Lifestyle Hacks with Zan. But just get out there and keep being kick-assy. And if you're struggling, you can always reach out. And like Amy said, we are here for you. And that's what it is about building a community, but also one that doesn't take forever to get us to our goals, because ain't nobody got time for that, right? We've got to get down to business and move on. So thank you, Amy. Thank you out there, and dance it out. Hand dancing.
I feel like you need to dance it out at the end of everyone now.
A little bit of chair dancing. Keep it up, Amy. Take us out. Keep it up. See you next time.